thank you so much for 200 subscribers. OMG. I was just watching the numbers go up and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so like you guys' love for Pride and Prejudice is just making me love it more because you love it so much that you're showing me so much love, and I'm honestly shook because last week, Sunday, Monday, it was at 1,000 views and now it's at 5,000 views, and I don't understand. It is so crazy and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. As I was brainstorming with a friend on what I should do for this video, because after doing that readathon, I was like, I want to do this again and again and again. So I decided that I'm going to find enemies to lover book tropes. That sentence, no, let me try that again. I'm going to find books that that have the enemies to lovers trope. And I mean actual enemies to lovers. I don't mean enemies or people that didn't like each other and then they started getting to know each other and they developed an understanding, a mutual respect, a friendship, and then they ended up loving each other. No, I mean, like, it just does not make any sense. You were enemies, now you're lovers trope. That's what I mean. We have to go find some books. Yeah, let's do this. Enemies to lovers. Wow. Trope books, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Did I say I was gonna do the worst or the best? Let me like see the message between my friend and I because I honestly don't remember. Okay, no, I just said marathon slash review on enemies to lovers book tropes. Trope books. Alright then. I'm just gonna pick 5 books. Cause either way, 5 is a multiple of 20, 200. I mean, maybe because I'm used to the word enemies from like fantasy novels. I wouldn't say anybody is my enemy in real life. Like, there are a lot of people I haven't liked that I ended up liking, but like enemies, that's a strong word. What is this book about? The Hating Game, since that is number 1. Nemesis. Oh, okay. Okay, it has good ratings. Because I was like, I don't particularly like these types of books because of Wattpad. Wattpad has messed up my brain, and I love Wattpad and I hate Wattpad. But this blurb is set up like a Wattpad book blurb, and I cannot stand it. But let's keep going. You know, okay, they say don't judge a book by its cover. Do you know what would be really funny? If by the end of this, like me reading this book, I am completely in love with it. That would be so funny, and I would laugh at myself, and I would encourage you guys to laugh at me too. But don't judge a book by its cover, fine. I do that a lot. But I'm not judging the book by its cover. I'm judging the book by the blurb, which is what is going to make me want to read the book. No, 16-year-old me would be loving this. She would be absolutely all over it. But 21-year-old me is, I'm not really down for it. But let's keep going. An earth-shattering kiss. I'm gonna do it for 200 of you subscribing to me, even though like not all of you subscribe to me to be a booktuber or whatever. But for 200 people subscribing to me, I am going to torture myself because we are all sadistic in that way, that we like seeing people go through these type of things for our entertainment. So yeah, I'm gonna get it on my Kindle and I'll be right back. 28 chapters, not a big deal. I am probably gonna read this and then go to sleep, or read it halfway then go to sleep. I might pop in. This is why I don't put my glasses on my hair, or this is why I shouldn't put my glasses on my head. Ow. I might pop in and say a few words. Again, if I end up liking this book, it's gonna be really funny, and I'm going to it's gonna be really funny, honestly. I'm not going to not like it just so I can say I don't like it. I'm gonna actually just read it. The blurb is just off-putting. A bunch of things. I just finished chapter 1. I am going to sleep. breath after I finish talking. Yeah, so we can kind of start laughing because, like, so far it's not bad. It's really, really like regular YA type of thing, and it's interesting. I haven't read YA in a while. It has that cliche of she's a small girl and he's all broad shoulders and all that regular stuff, that makes short girls like me look for tall, broad shouldered guys. So far, so good.
First of all, it's been 5 days since I did the intro to this video, and then I've been like really, really busy. And then today I was like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to make this video because I actually want to read this book. Um, I don't know if you can tell by looking at my face that my prediction was right. I like I like the book. I do. Yeah, that's embarrassing. But like no wonder it has such good ratings because it's actually a good book. And I'm almost done. I just had to come on here because I'm almost done. And earlier today, like I just reading it again today, and I'm almost done. And throughout the day, I was thinking, yeah, this is a nice book. Yeah, I started liking it more, as I progressed along. And literally, like as I was making dinner, I was making pancakes for dinner. I was thinking, okay, when I'm done with the book, I'm gonna make my video, and I'm gonna talk about how I like the book. I really like the book. Sometimes it's really, really, and then I'm at 95% right now, and I was like, I have to come and make this video because I have fallen in love. Because I have fallen in love with the book, and I am too honest not to admit it. Yeah, like I said, I will give myself the credits that I did say I don't hate the trope when it's done right. Like I don't hate people that didn't like each other suddenly liking each other, but I want them to get to know each other. I don't want it to be some magical, you know what? I think I like you, something. And it has been quite something, and I'm already smiling, and I really just wanted to come on here and read the last few moments of the book because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I like it. But I like it. It did blindside me how explicit it is. I didn't actually expect that. But like damn. Okay. What chapter am I on? Oh, I'm on the last chapter. This is why I don't read romance books because it just reminds me of the lack of romance in my life. So I just finished the hating game and wow, did it do a number on me. I don't even remember the next book I'm meant to read. I'm gonna have to check because it's been so long. Wow. Okay, talk about character development though. As I was reading through it, like I said, I was liking the book, and it definitely reminded me of a lot of Wattpad books. I thought that to myself first, but then it said psych. You think this is like a Wattpad book? That's disrespectful, and it really did show me up for disrespecting it, and I am sorry. I concede. Forgive me. Like I said, it started off like a Wattpad book-ish, and it felt really like a bad boy, good girl type of scenario, except she was also kind of like a bad girl because she was also really mean to him. I like that it wasn't that she was just really mean to her, like she was also really mean to him. And so yeah, they hated each other, and it was just disrespect, and they were just really, really, really rude to each other. And the book was progressing, and then it turned into another Wattpad-like trope of the protective bad boy, and I was like, well, I mean, it's cute, but then again, it was like, just keep reading, okay? And then it turned into something else. It just turned into this amazing character development, and it wasn't fake, when they revealed certain things about the love interest, about Joshua, it wasn't fake. It just made sense. It just made so much sense. I guess this is actually not spoilers because I actually don't want to spoil this book, but it just made sense, and it like your mind clicks. Oh gosh, and I just loved this part where they were at a family event. She was at Templeman. I feel like his name should be Templeton, but like it's Templeman. They were at a Templeman family event, and I just love that it wasn't a damsel in distress book, and it really addressed social issues, kind of. Okay, so I'm gonna go figure out what the second book I'm meant to read is, and then I might not start this night. I also might, but like wow, I'm all jittery and excited because that was honestly really nice, and I really hope the others don't disappoint me. Hey guys, it's been 2 or 3 days, however you want to count it. Sunday night, today is Wednesday, it's Wednesday morning, so however you want to do the math. I have gotten 3 more books, so I have one more because I'm doing 5, right? I think it's just going to be like my 500 subscriber celebration video, because the rate at which you guys are subscribing, I don't understand. And if it's 5 books, 500 subscribers. So yeah, I've gotten 3 more. I haven't started reading them, but I did go back to the list, and then I read the different blurbs, and I decided which one I wanted to read. So this is Beach Read, this is Cruel Prince, and then this is The Unhoneymooners. So The Unhoneymooners is, from what I read, since that's like the next book I'm gonna read, that's why I'm giving the description. So the sister of the bride and the maid's groom, the best man, the best man, they don't like each other, but then after the wedding everybody got sick apart from the two of them, and there was an all expense paid trip to, I think they said Hawaii or something, that was meant to be a honeymoon, but then because the couple got sick, somebody had to take it. I don't know why, but somebody had to take it. So the best man and the maid of honor took the tickets, and so the honeymooners, get it? So they call it a temporary truce, and then they go for the trip, 10 days. All they have to do is pretend like they're in love, since it's meant to be a honeymoon, and I think we all know how that is going to end. They are obviously going to fall in love, but the purpose is to see how they fall in love, not that they are going to fall in love. Oh, look at that. Filled with tropical sunsets, ex encounters, and a couples massage that you won't want to miss. Christina Lauren's latest romantic comedy is perfect for fans of Sally Thorne's The Hating Game. 20 chapters. That's 21. There are 20 chapters, and there's an epilogue. That's pretty short.
What's up guys, welcome. Hi, this is not an intro, this is just a continuation. I'm giving an update for 3 books because I gave an update for the second book, which was The Unhoneymooners, but like I looked more of a mess than I do right now. And so I decided to do it again. And then after doing that update, I read book 3 and 4. Book 3 was Beach Read and book 4 was Cruel Prince. And I'm just gonna go in order. Like I have so much to say about the Cruel Prince, but like I'm just gonna wait till I get there. So book 2, The Unhoneymooners, it was really interesting. It was really sweet. It was really interesting. It was sweet and interesting like the first one, The Hating Game. I don't really remember what I wanted to say because it's been a while. Like it's been a while, but it was cute. It did surprise me the way it almost ended, because by the time they were having their happily ever after, there were still like 5 more chapters to go, and so I was confused, like what is gonna happen next? And so they really surprised me with what happened after that, and then they wrapped everything up nicely. It was really sweet. It was very rom-com-ish. Like made that into a movie, and wow, you have something. It was really funny. My favorite part was when they were on the honeymoon, and then they went for this boat ride. I think they were going scuba diving, so they were on a boat, and the boat only had one changing room. Because they were married, they had to share the changing room at the same time. So they decided to obviously like back one another, like they're not gonna watch each other change, but they had to change at the same time and be really fast. And then I think I don't even know what happened, but they ended up like bumping into each other completely naked, and it was so funny because just imagine it happen, and then screaming like get off me, close your eyes, don't look at me, and it was really funny. But my favorite one so far out of the 4 is definitely definitely Beach Read. Oh my god, I love that book. I went on Goodreads and I rated it 5 stars. 5 stars. I don't think I've ever rated a book 5 stars. Like I have back when I didn't really understand ratings and I was in the heat of the moment. But like I'm telling you, it wasn't a heat of the moment thing, especially because I did wait some days before I went to review the book. But wow, it's the best book I've read this year, and that's not saying much because I've only read like 10 books this year, but it was amazing. It was really really realistic. That was the most realistic one out of the three, the first two, which were also like, they weren't really contemporary, but they were like based in our world. It was really really real and it really really resonated with me. And it's funny because I had a hard time reading it. I kept putting it down because I didn't want to read it, and not because it was bad, not because it was boring, just because I was connecting to it too much, and I'm like, what is this book doing to me? And so I kept putting it down, and I was like, I know how to read this book, like the book is actually nice. And I kept reading and I just kept falling more and more and more in love with the book. And wow, I need to get the author's name because she deserves all the recognition ever. Emily Henry. Wow, she got the perfect fiction romance boyfriend love interest thing. The perfect mix of brooding and sad and real, like he wasn't like it was amazing. And it really really, I think I loved it more because the love interest I wrote in my book, I know you guys know that I always find a way to weave the fact that I've written a book and published a book into this, okay? But it reminded me of the character I wrote for my book. That wasn't a romance book, but there was romance in that. And I don't know, she just really, like, as I was reading the character, my character is not as brooding, right? Because it's not an enemies to love book, but just how real and honest and sweet the guy was. I was like, this is the type of person I like. Clearly, because that's the type of person I wrote. And he obviously wasn't perfect, right? And the complication, obviously there always has to be a complication. The complication, wow, I did not expect that. I was shook. I was like, I was honestly so shook. It's honestly the most real book, romance book I have ever read, or at least real. I don't know how to classify it now because I'm thinking of Sarah Desson and Casey West, whose romance books are amazing and really real. But like I think it's a new adult book, so yeah, I think that's the most real new adult book I have ever read. I just can't. I don't have enough words to express how much I love that book, and I'm gonna tell everybody about it. Everybody. I will say though, the first 3 books that I read, I guess maybe I should have looked at the genre, apart from the fact that it was romance. But like I didn't realize that every new adult book or adult book would have sex scenes. Like, and obviously like it's not particularly a big deal. But when you go into something not realizing what you're getting yourself into, you're gonna be pretty shocked. Beach Read and what's the first one? The Hating Game. They were quite graphic. So be warned, it's really, really graphic. I did not expect it, and I definitely glanced over because that's not what I was reading it for. It was a lot. And I will say this again, I don't know if it's a new adult genre thing, but there is definitely a difference between romance and sex. They're not the same thing. They're not synonymous. The Pearl Prince. Wow. I hate. Okay, hate is a strong word. I really, really dislike the book for a number of reasons. I'm not even gonna get into talking about Jude's sister because that's a whole different thing. But I'm not even gonna talk about her because it's the romance. It's the romance that I got into this for. This is how I feel about it. Not this. Here. This is how I feel about it. Just watch this video and you will know how I feel about that whole situation. I got into a conversation with someone on Reddit, and they were talking about how Carden is fine. And I'm like, look, his character development, sure, kudos to him. I'm all about people growing. I'm all about growth. Grow as a person. If you don't grow as a person, like, why are you living through life when you're not improving, right? So I get that. But just because somebody improves doesn't mean that they should be with the person they abused. Bars. It does, like, no, and I don't care. Oh my god. I think I said it in this video, in the toxic, stop romanticizing toxic relationships in whatever fiction. I don't care about your daddy issues. Like, I know that might sound harsh, but your trauma is not an excuse to traumatize someone else. What? And again, I use the example of Hamlin from A Court of Thorns and Roses. Hamlin went through traumatic stuff, and because of that, he thought it was okay to do the things he did. It wasn't okay, and because of that, he shouldn't have been with Feyre, and he wasn't. And I thought that was great. That doesn't mean I think Tamlin is a bad person, because there is a difference between being a bad person and doing bad things because you're traumatized. There's a difference. Like I want you to understand that there's a difference, and I know that there is a difference, but I am not going to accept the fact that someone has PTSD as a reason for them to abuse other people. Back to Cardin, I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad person, and I am so glad that he became a better person. But like, I still don't think that he should be with Jude. And I was searching high and low for someone who agreed with me, and it was like 3% of the people who had read the books. And it's like, it's not that surprising because you find so many people who love the book series after. So it's not that surprising, but it's still scary to me. I've already done this rant. I'm not gonna do it again. I have gone about a quarter way through it. I'm not gonna continue. So because of The Cruel Prince, I decided to find another fantasy book that dove into the whole enemies to lovers trope, because the fantasy in The Cruel Prince was also not great. Like, it was so vague. And so I found From Blood to Ash. I don't really know what it's about. Like, I know what it's about, but like, I don't know what it's about. Apparently, if you like Sarah J Maas's stuff, you would like that. And like, I know lots of people don't like Sarah J Maas, but like, I don't particularly, okay, I won't say I dislike her or I like her, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't like Throne of Glass and I don't like A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm not going to pretend. Hi, this is the last book, From Blood to Ash, and oh my god, thank you, The Cruel Prince, for making me hate you so much that I had to go and find another fantasy book to cure me of what you did to me, because I am cured. I am so cured. I think I took a break from reading From Blood to Ash because whatever, and then I picked it up at some point, and then I just read through it, and then I just got the second book and I read through that, and then I got the third book and I read through that, and I was like, oh my god, I need more. When I said The Cruel Prince did not give me a lot of lore, From Blood to Ash, and I don't even mean the series at this point, I mean the first book. The first book delivered. I will say, however, that it wasn't particularly enemies to lovers. It was at the end that they became enemies. It was more like lovers to enemies, but like, I'm not complaining. The second book is enemies to lovers. In the description of the book, or maybe in a lot of reviews, it's like, if you love Sarah J Maas, you would love this, and yeah, I think they got it right. And I am sorry, since this is spoiler free, if you read the books, I'm going to be using Hawk. I'm sorry, but Hawk is so much better than Rice. No, there's no comparison. And yes, I mean, like, over the course of the book so far, but like, wow, because it was a while ago I finished it, I did write it down, like my points. Halfway through, I knew I was gonna get the rest of the books in the series. It was just so great. It was just so amazing. And this is what people want from fantasy: the lore, the magic. It's the magic. That's why it's fantasy. If there's no magic, if there's no lore, if there's no wow factor in sense of the magic and the lore, then I might as well just read a contemporary book or any other book. And that's something that The Cruel Prince did not deliver for me, apart from the terrible people in the book. That's something that The Cruel Prince did not deliver. The suspense, everything was just like, wow, I could not believe the twist. Again, this is not even me talking about each book or the series as a whole. The first book, you're just like, what? It was amazing, and I loved it so much. The only issue that I had, like, I don't know if I mentioned it in this book, in this video, but I mentioned it in another. I had to make a separate video because it was really starting to get to me. It was the amount of sex. It was much, but again, if you read Sarah J Maas, I don't know, when they said it was like Sarah J Maas, I didn't really expect that aspect. I got both. I got the lore, and it's better. it's definitely better than Throne of Glass. Like, I love Throne of Glass, don't get me wrong, but like it's definitely better than Throne of Glass, and it's better than A Court of Thorns and Roses as well. You know, it's like Throne of Glass, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then From Blood to Ash, because yo, that's the name of the book. From Blood and Ash, because yo. But the first book for me now at the end of everything is Beach Read. Like I said, it was so real, it was too real, and that's why when I started reading, I was like, no, I don't like you. Like, I like you, but I don't like you. It was just really real, and I really, really appreciate that. From Blood and Ash is number 2 because, like, everything apart from the sex, beautiful book. I would give Beach Read 4.9 just because, like, 5 stars. I think I even gave it 5 stars. 5 stars. I love that book so much. I would give From Blood to Ash like 4.7. Just because I don't want to give it 5 stars. And I don't want to give it 4.5 because I think it deserves more than 4.5, but I don't want to give it 5 stars. Next is The Hating Game. I really, really like that book because I love the fact that they address the sexualization of men as well. And I love the boss girl moment. Wow, I loved it. I loved it so much. I love that the character, even though she's like shy, and there's a lot of stereotypes in the book, or not stereotypes, tropes in the book. Even though she's like shy and stuff, when she's standing up for herself, she stands up for herself, and when she's standing up for someone she loves. And I could really relate to that. I don't know if I said this in that review, but I could really relate to the fact that she was conflicted about how, I think I mentioned this like some minutes ago, how she was conflicted about how she felt about the person, because you know, you can love someone but still be conflicted about the fact that you love them. That felt really real to me, and so that's why Beach Read is number 3. I mean, The Hazing Game is number 3, and I would give that a 4.5. I think I did. I might have given it a 4. I might not have clarified that I meant 4.5. And then number 4 on the list is, of course, The Unhoneymooners. I could like rank The Unhoneymooners 3 as well, but it just falls to 4 because there's some things that, again, it's fictional. Maybe it's because it was after reading The Hazing Game and they had a lot of realistic stuff. There were some things that were like, what are the chances? What are the chances? And that made it fun. It was a really fun book to read. It was so funny. So just because I really like realistic stuff, unless I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know if I just want realistic stuff, I should go and read contemporary, but I like a bit of realism in general fiction. Even in fantasy, like, I can only suspend my disbelief so much, and there were a lot of things that the Unhoneymooners asked me to suspend my disbelief for that I was like, come on guys, come on, this is ridiculous. But it was still really, really cute, and I like the twist at the end. That's why I said it can be 3 along with The Hating Game, or just number 4, so that I don't have number 4 blank, because either way the Crow Prince is number 5. I like the family structure, and I really did not see that coming. Like, what happened, I didn't see it coming. Like, the twist before the end, I can't pretend like I saw it coming. I was seeing the happily ever after, and they were like, psych. I was, what? So that was nice. And at number 5, The Crow Prince, which, like, you guys know why I don't like the book. I don't need to go more into it. There's no point. I don't like the book. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. It's funny how this started off being a 200 subscriber video, and now it's my 500 subscriber video, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so shook. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and go to the comment section and tell me what you would like me to read, because at this point after reading The Crow Prince, it's like I can read anything. Please be kind, because I don't want to read anything. But it seems I can read anything. I'm not going to read after. Don't ask me to. I might read Twilight. I've never read Twilight. I could just watch it. I haven't really watched it before. I've seen it like in passing, but like not really. So subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in my next video.